look at this. Jake, what is going on? Emily Willis!
She walked into rehab to save her life. Instead, it destroyed her. The promise of recovery is sacred. When someone struggling with addiction reaches out for help, they are placing their life in the hands of those who claim to heal. This is the story of Emily Willis, a young woman who sought salvation at an exclusive rehab center, only to leave with irreversible brain damage. What should have been her chance at a fresh start became a horrifying descent into neglect, incompetence, and betrayal. Now, her family is waging a legal war against one of the most high-profile rehab facilities in the country, a lawsuit that could unravel the dark secrets of the luxury rehab industry. What really happened inside Malibu Lighthouse treatment centers? Was this an isolated tragedy, or is it part of something much bigger? One thing is certain, Emily Willis trusted them with her life, and they failed her. The waves crashed against the Malibu coastline, their rhythmic pounding against the cliffs, a stark contrast to the serenity that Malibu Lighthouse treatment centers promised. A place where people sought healing, redemption, a second chance at life. But for Emily Willis, those promises would prove empty. What should have been a journey toward recovery became something far darker. An experience that would leave her permanently changed, and a legal battle that could unravel the very foundations of the luxury rehab industry. Emily Willis wasn't just any young woman. She was a rising star. She had worked tirelessly to carve a name for herself, building a career in an industry where fame was fleeting and pressure was relentless. Behind the flashing cameras and red carpets, she carried burdens no one else could see. The weight of expectation, the past traumas she never spoke about, and the slow, creeping grip of addiction. It had started as an escape, something to numb the pain. But soon, the escape became a prison. Her body grew weaker, her mind clouded. She knew she was spiraling, and if she didn't stop now, she might never be able to. So, in January 2023, she made a choice. One of the bravest choices anyone struggling with addiction can make. She decided to get help. She wanted to turn her life around, to take control again. And Malibu Lighthouse treatment centers seemed like the perfect place. It wasn't just a rehab facility. It was an elite institution, promising world-class care, expert medical supervision, and a path to a brighter future. Their website boasted of luxurious amenities, private therapy sessions, and oceanfront views that would make healing feel almost effortless. To someone like Emily, it sounded like salvation. But from the moment she stepped through those doors, things were not what they seemed. A place of healing or neglect. The glossy brochures painted a picture of tranquility, but reality was something far different. Malibu Lighthouse treatment centers had built a reputation on exclusivity, catering to high-profile clients, celebrities, and the wealthy elite. But behind the polished facade, there were cracks. Cracks that would soon become gaping chasms in the foundation of their credibility. Emily entered the facility at a vulnerable point in her life, trusting that the people inside would help her heal. But according to the lawsuit that would later be filed, that trust was misplaced. From the moment she arrived, red flags began to emerge. Her condition, fragile, malnourished, deeply impacted by addiction, should have been a top priority. She should have been carefully monitored, placed under around-the-clock supervision, and given immediate medical attention. But the lawsuit alleges that none of this happened. Instead, she was subjected to a generic detox plan, one size fits all, with little regard for her individual medical needs. She began to deteriorate almost immediately. Her body, already weak, struggled under the effects of withdrawal. The symptoms were excruciating. She reported feeling dizzy, weak, unable to keep food down. Her complaints were dismissed as normal withdrawal symptoms. And so, the suffering continued. The spiral, ignored warnings, fading hope. Anyone who has witnessed someone struggling through withdrawal knows that it is brutal. The body shakes, The mind turns against itself. The pain feels unbearable. But for Emily, something more insidious was happening. Her symptoms weren't just withdrawal, they were signs of something much worse. She wasn't just uncomfortable, she was in danger. But the facility allegedly ignored the warning signs. According to the lawsuit, medical staff failed to conduct the necessary comprehensive assessments that should have flagged her declining condition. They failed to adjust her treatment to meet her specific needs. They failed to listen when she said she was in pain. And so, day by day, her condition worsened. Her body was shutting down, and no one was paying attention. Until it was too late. A broken system. Are luxury rehabs safe? Emily's case was not an isolated incident. It was part of a larger, more disturbing trend, a pattern of luxury rehab centers prioritizing profit over patient care. Across the country, facilities like Malibu Lighthouse cater to high-profile clients, charging tens of thousands of dollars for treatment programs that, in reality, lacked proper oversight. Many of these centers cut corners, hired underqualified staff, and ignored medical red flags, all while branding themselves as elite recovery institutions. Emily's case had the potential to expose this dark underbelly of the rehab industry. If her family won, it would set a precedent, a warning to every facility that put money before lives. But justice is never guaranteed. Where the case stands today. As of now, Malibu Lighthouse Treatment Centers has not issued a public statement regarding the lawsuit. The case is still unfolding in court, and legal experts predict a long and bitter battle ahead. If Emily's family wins, it could lead to major changes in the rehab industry, forcing facilities to follow stricter medical regulations and ensuring that no one else endures what Emily did. But if Malibu Lighthouse walks away unscathed, it would send a terrifying message that facilities like this can operate without consequence, even when lives are at stake. And so, the fight continues. Emily Willis's story is more than just a lawsuit. It is a warning about an industry that claims to heal, but sometimes harms. A warning about what happens when money is valued more than human lives. A warning about the dangers of unchecked negligence in places that should be safe havens. But it is also a call to action. If you believe that rehab centers should be held accountable, that patients deserve real medical care, not just empty promises, then this case matters. If you believe that Emily's suffering should not be in vain, then this fight is for you, too. Stay informed. Demand transparency. Support policies that ensure higher standards in rehabilitation care. Because Emily Willis is not just one person. She represents the thousands of others who have suffered in silence. Their stories untold. The truth will come out, one way or another. What are your thoughts on this? Drop down in the comments and subscribe for more.